Ginger Ladd.
And I'm Jennifer McCammon. Welcome to this week's Tiger Den.
Just in case you're wondering where Holly and James are, they've been assigned to new jobs, and Jennifer and I are your new hosts for this 9 weeks.
Some other new faces you'll be seeing are Rob Davidson doing Norman High News, Scott Jurgensen giving us a look at the sports, and as usual, Mark Rubin with his entertainment corner.
Speaking of Rob, here he is now, taking a look at Norman High.
Welcome to the Tiger Den News. I'm Rob Davison, and I can't tell you how glad I am to be back in front of the camera instead of behind the camera for 18 weeks. The FBLA meeting for all members on Wednesday, April 6th at 8 a.m. in room 109. State Conference, the blood drive, the FBLA banquet, and presidential nominations will be discussed. The following Thursday, April 14th, will also be an important meeting for all members going to state. State band contest at Putman City West today and Wednesday. The ACT review seminar from 6:30 in the Science Building will be held Wednesday evening, and vocal music will go to state solo and ensemble contest on Thursday. The spring dance is this Friday night in the cafeteria featuring the Jimmy SWAT Band. Admission is $1. Business and Professional Women's Organization is offering a scholarship. Applications are in the counseling office, and deadline is April 12th. Boy State applications for juniors are due in the counseling office by this Friday. The deadline for turning in National Honor Society applications is tomorrow, and the party picks for the Mardi Gras are now at the Party Pick Shop on Elm. Pick them up soon. There will be cash prizes. Oklahoma City Writers is sponsoring Young Writers Competition for students under 18 years of age in the Oklahoma City area. Contest rules are posted in the LARC bulletin boards and room 156. The deadline is April 21st. Mrs. Miller or Mrs. White are receiving nominations for juniors running for student council offices for next year up until April 7th. Offices include president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and parliamentarian. Individuals should nominate themselves and offer evidence that they have a 2.75 grade average with no failing grades the preceding semester. Now is the time for next year's leaders to step forward. The filing will be between April 1st and the 7th, campaigning April 11th through the 13th, campaign assembly April 13th, election April 14th, and the meeting with the winners April 15th. The Penn Women of Norman will give the Creative Writing Award to Norman High School student. Submit a portfolio of 5 to 8 writings to Mrs. Leffler, room 156, by Thursday, April 7th at 4 o'clock. It's time once again to think about summer school. Summer school at Norman High can be taken for advanced credit now. Students who have failed the following subjects may plan to attend. Grades 9 through 12, English 1, 2, 3, or 4 is $50 per semester. Grades 9 through 12, General Science is $55 per semester. Grades 10 through 12, Biology is $55 per semester. Grades 10 through 12, American History is $50 per semester. First semester classes will begin June 1 and end June 28th. Second semester classes will begin June 29th and end July 29th, with the 4th of July as a holiday. In order to graduate, a student must have passed 4 years of prescribed English. No student will be allowed to take 2 required English classes during 1 semester for credit toward graduation. Therefore, if a student has failed any English, there are only 3 options available for graduation requirements to be met: summer school, correspondence study, or extended high school career for additional semesters. Driver's education will also be offered to students who are 15 and a half years of age. The cost is $60. If you have any questions about summer school, please contact John L. Jones at 329-7970, extension 230. And now to Scott with the sports.
Thanks, Rob. Scott Jurgensen here. Let's talk sports. First off, track. The Norman High girls and boys track squads both returned to action Saturday, competing in the Moore Invitational. The boys placed first, with Mark Busick and Danny Murphy each picking up double victories. Busick in the mile and 2 mile, and Murphy claiming both hurdle events. Busick also was on the gold medal winning 2 mile relay with teammates Jerry Brady, Mike Deere, and Steve Glaze. The girls placed third in the tournament, with Laura McCloy getting the lone victory, winning the half mile. Norman High's baseball team took the Moore Invitational tournament this past week. Thursday, Norman High defeated Meeker 8-0, 8-0. John Buell threw a 2-hitter and retired the last 11 batters, 5 on strikeout. And Saturday afternoon, the Tigers took apart Duncan 11-1 and finally defeated Ponca City in the finals 9-1. Norman High now 9-0, zip past Ponca City, led by right-hander Jeff Parks and an 11-hit attack to take the Moore Invitational Tournament. Also, Darius Tyus and Jay Baker were both named to the all-tournament team, and Norman High's very own Jay Baker was named the tournament MVP. In volleyball action this past weekend, the Jinx Tournament. NHS girls claimed second here Saturday. Tiger varsity downed Dewey, Fort Townsend, Porter, and Bartlesville before meeting Edmond. Edmond defeated Norman High 15-3, 15-3 in the finals. Linda Warwick led NHS with 32 service points, and Mindy Eiler and Michelle Hoving had 25 and 21 points respectively. The NHS JV won 2 of 4 matches in the varsity tournament, and Stacy Allen picked up 45 service points for the Tiger JV. The NHS boys volleyball team finished third here Friday in the Jinx tournament. Ponca City won the round-robin event, and Jinx was second. Chris Irwin led the Tigers with 59 service points, and teammates Bobby Robinson and Roddy Davis had 47 and 40 points respectively. In soccer, Norman High's boys soccer team in Edmond battled to a 0-0 tie Thursday at West Mid High Field. The deadlock left NHS's record at 1-0-2. Goalkeeper Jake Goff registered the shutout for NHS and was assisted by the outstanding play of defensive backs Kevin Hodgel, Seth Bumgarner, and Malcolm Smith. In girls action, NHS girls soccer team was victorious Thursday, blanking Mustang 3-0, as Renee Critchlow netted 2 goals and Molly Bates scored 1. The Tigers now are 3-0. Lisa McNichols and Laura Onifray had 2 and 1 assist respectively, and teammate Christy Rowden led the defense. And finally, Scott Sullivan won 4 events to lead the Sooner Swim Club to a 4th place finish in the State Junior Olympic Swim Meet last weekend. Other individual champions were Scott Tobin in the 1650 freestyle, Ben Wessner in the 1000 freestyle, Kent Nicholson in the 100 freestyle, and Michael Yoke in the 50 freestyle. Now here's Mark Rubin with the entertainment news.
Hi, I'm Mark Rubin, and now it's time for this week's Tiger Den Concert Corner. April 9th, we have Triumph and Foghat at the Lloyd Noble Arena. On April 12th, Hall & Oates at the Lloyd Noble. On April 16th, we have the Rock Against Racism concert, a free open-air live concert at Reeves Park, starting at 12:30 and ending at about 8. And on April 24th, we have Conway Twitty at Lloyd Noble. May 1st, we have Alabama and Juice Newton, and look for Adam Ant April the 8th at the Lloyd Noble. That's it for this week. Until next week, bye.
Various students at Norman High compete in many different types of activities. Here's Jennifer with one student who's going to a very different type of activity.
Thanks, Ginger. Hi, I'm here with Jenny Vance, Norman High's 1982 homecoming queen. Jenny, what is it exactly that you're going to be doing this weekend?
I'm going to the state competition of all the homecoming queens all over Oklahoma.
How did you get involved in it?
Well, I won Norman High's homecoming queen last fall, and we just got an invitation.
Have you had to do anything to prepare, and if so, what?
Well, we have a speech about our home school, and so I had to prepare that. And then we had to get sponsors, and my sponsors are McDade Studio and Ron Lynch of Norman.
What does the pageant entail?
Friday afternoon, we have an interview, and then Friday night we have a banquet dinner with the past winner from last year. And then Saturday morning we'll get up and we're going to model our sportswear, and then we have a luncheon, and then Saturday afternoon we're going to have the actual pageant. Will be modeling of formal wear, and then the individual speeches, and then the awards and winners.
When and where is it going to take place?
At 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon at the Hilton in West, or the Airport Hilton.
How can people get tickets?
I have extra tickets, and they can just contact me.
Okay, well, thanks for being with us. We wish you the best of luck.
Thanks.
What's next on the show? Well, stay tuned and find out after this brief message. Jennifer, have you ever wondered what goes on over at the mid-highs?
Yeah, I do.
Well, just in case you do too, here's a look at what's going on over there at Central.
Hi, I'm Tara Murphy, and now here's Greg Collins for a look at what's going on at Central.
Central had its annual performance of a talent show in the auditorium last Friday during second hour. The show was a real success, with acts ranging from air bands to the performance of Central's vocal music students, including the Central Committee. The show reached its climax as the final act was on the stage. It was the debut of a musical group calling itself Public Appearance, which was led by Mike Colson, lead singer, Jeremy Childs and David Clark, guitarists, Jason Hadley, bass guitar, and Roland Burt, drums. All 5 of these members are sophomores at Central. The student body enjoyed the show, and the whole staff considered it a success.
Central team students are going to be especially busy this month with 2 field trips planned. The first trip is on April 13th to see The Diary of Anna Frank, to be performed at Norman High. Then on April 19th, a trip to the 45th Infantry Museum. Both trips are related to the World Wars unit being studied in history.
Openings are now available for next year's Central Mid-High Cheerleader Squad. Sign-up is April 6th, with tryouts soon after. Also, Student Council will begin opening its campaign for officers for the 1983-84 school year. Spots open include President, Vice President, Secretary, Reporter, and Parliamentarian.
A survey of 2 classes was taken last week to decide the 10 favorite books of high school students, 5 of which were All Quiet on the Western Front, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Outsiders, Where the Red Fern Grows, and Of Mice and Men.
The Norman High School sophomore baseball team, composed of Central and West players, took 3rd place in the Norman sophomore tournament by defeating Midwest City 7-0. Clint Littlejim of Central was the winning pitcher, and the team now has an impressive record of 5 wins and 1 loss. The loss came against Del City in the tournament, who later went on to play Edmond for the championship. However, the Tigers put out great effort and are certainly expected to have a successful season the rest of this year.
Girls volleyball hosting a tournament Friday, April 8th at Central. Then, Saturday, April 9th, there will be a Ponca City tournament. It is rumored that this is going to be the sophomores' initiation. The sophomore girls stand at 3-1.
This has been Greg Collins with Tara Murphy. Now back to the Tiger Den.
What's that sticker say? See you in D.C.? What's that mean?
Haven't you heard?
No.
Well, if you haven't heard either, here's Mike Talbot with some students from Close Up.
Hello, I'm Michael Talbot. With me today is Gina Messer and Kim Strait. They're from Norman High Close Up. Gina, what is Close Up?
Close Up is a government-structured club that goes to Washington in the spring and studies more in depth about their government and learns how to understand it and learn about it more in depth. Just go into Washington and see the senators and the congressmen themselves and ask them questions about current events or something like that.
When you all are in Washington, do you get to participate on the floor in the Senate debates and things along that
We're
line?
not actually on the floor in the Senate or the House of Representatives, but we are up in booths watching them during the session or something. And there are different seminars and stuff that we can directly ask them questions.
Okay. Kim, what will you all be doing exactly in Washington, D.C., aside from being in the Capitol?
Well, we're going to be attending seminars, and we're going to get to talk with our congressmen and all the representatives from Oklahoma, and we'll be meeting new people from other areas around the country, just like in the hotels and stuff like that. And we go to the theater one night, and then Friday night, the last Friday before we leave, there's a big banquet and a dance, and we have a free day on Friday, and they kind of have things set up, kind of tell you where to go. You can just go visit monuments, or you can go to Georgetown, just about anything you want to do. It's be really a lot of fun.
So they just let you all loose on the town?
Yeah, on Friday.
Just for one day, for that afternoon, or the whole day?
Well, I think we just get like the afternoon, probably for the most part 1 to 5 or so. But mostly everything's structured. We're busy from 6 to 11 or 12 at night. That's what they've told us with seminars and things. So.
Do you all anticipate meeting Mr. Reagan?
Well, Ms. Thompson told us the other day that he's met with 3 close-up groups so far, and so we're crossing our fingers. It'll be interesting.
I hope y'all get to see him.
Yeah.
Well, how did you all raise money for this trip to Washington, D.C.?
Well, we started in the last fall in November, and we sold these kits from this company, and we brought in a lot of money from that, around $4,000 or so, about $4,500. And then we did the Mardi Gras dance in February, and we made a lot from that. We made about $600, and then we did a lock-in. We all spent the night, and we each pledged per hour, and we made a lot of people individually made money for that.
The newspaper drive also.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't make too
There was some deal Mrs. Hamilton was talking to me about. I talked to her about this, and you all sat around in rocking chairs and rocked back and forth to raise money for this?
We decided not to do that this year. They've done that in the past, and then you had to stay awake for 24 hours, but that was kind of what the lock-in was. We had to stay awake, but we didn't rock in chairs. We decided that'd be kind of boring.
All right. Well, how has this experience enriched your lives?
For me, I'm aiming it towards the future in a way that possibly becoming involved in politics or, in political science or something like that. And it's taught me how to work with people and just to care about what the government is doing because how it affects you directly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's also the same for me. I've learned to work with people, and it's kind of made it where I can understand a little bit more about government, and I'm kind of more eager to read the newspaper and stuff and find out about what's going on in the government today, because we always talk about it in like our close-up meetings we have, because towards the end we start talking about current events, and we have a little workbook and stuff that we work out of so that we all understand what's going on. We learn about the Soviet Union and stuff like that, and it's really helped me a lot, kind of, that way I don't seem so stupid when I talk to people about it. So.
How do you plan to apply the knowledge you've gained in close-up to your future plans?
I kind of already answered this.
Well, okay, we'll skip that. You all have any other political plans for the future?
Right now, I'm not for sure, but as political science is a possible major, that would be something maybe in law or something like that, and using it that way.
I really don't have any other plans in politics, but it's been interesting this year, just kind of getting to know about it and stuff, and I'm really excited about going to Washington and learning more about it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. There you have it. That's Close Up. I'm Michael Talbot for Tiger Den.
Hey, it's not so bad hosting Tiger Den. I mean, we get to introduce everything. Yeah, and just think of all the things that we're going to get to do, the prom and graduation and everything else at Norman High.
Well, let's not think too far ahead. Well, we hope you enjoyed this Tiger Den.
For Tiger Den, I'm Ginger Ladd.
And I'm Jennifer McCammon.